Hey, what's up? I'm Hype. I play games, make games everywhere. And for the last 3 months, I've been living in Mexico City. Population 8.9 million. When it comes to moving to a new place and meeting people, going to museums, that's something I always love to do no matter what city I'm in. There's the nightlife. The nightlife in Mexico City is big, and I only saw a little bit of it. I could tell you most places close around 1:30, 2 a.m. And then that's when the party really gets going. They got events all over the city on the weekend. Sometimes it's like a secret place and you have to send a message or you have to buy a ticket using some kind of app. There's a lot of stuff going on. Cool events like Sunday. People just having a good time. A city with a lot of energy. I thought today I would make a simple remix in hypehype to kind of remember some of the club atmosphere vibes I saw in Mexico City. I use hypehype to make games. The great thing about hypehype is you can make whatever you want. I saw somebody making 15-second episodes with animations about a fox. Cool stuff. Today I found this hype by Empty Scene. Looks like it's got like a club atmosphere vibe. I thought I would just go in, remix this, and try to make it more Mexico City vibes, if you will. Check out hypehype.com. You can download it on your phone. If you like this kind of content where I make and play games, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more notifications. Let's play around with this hype. We're gonna start out by hitting the remix button. This will take us to what we see here. These are all individual characters, and we can tell that by the white outline. I think I'm gonna try to mix this up with a bunch of different people. The first thing I wanna do is mess with the colors. Let's see what colors we have. We hit the sandwich menu on the top left with visuals. We got the basic colors. I remember one night I went somewhere and it was just a lot of smoke and lasers. So let's get some smoke and let's make some lasers. For the smoke, that's the easiest. We just go to assets, effects, and I believe there is a mist here. Yeah, so we're gonna grab the mist. We can hit delete because now it's in our effects. There it is, mist. And for lasers, we're gonna need to create some visual material that has a super bright, almost like light emitting from it. Let's go to visuals, go to green. And here, diffuse, we just kind of move it all up to the white with this color and just, there we go. And do the same for the specular and the shadow. And then we can move the range and the shininess down. When it comes to the colors, it's good to just mess around, play around, see what works for you. I'm gonna take this green and we're just gonna grab an object. Let's go to visuals, type in platform. There are two search forms, icons and lists. This is the icon where you can see everything, or you can tap the top left over here and you can get a list. Personally, I think this looks cooler, but here is a good place to see what the hashtags are. I'm gonna type in poll. So let's grab this big poll. Hopefully it's big. And I wanna see how big I can make it. It's not that big. I'm looking for something that will span across the entire room. Lots of lasers and smoke. That's what I remember. Here we got this big platform. Maybe this one can be pretty big. Yeah, this one can be big and we can squeeze it so that it's skinny like this. And let's see what that looks like. Now I'm just trying to make this get as skinny as possible. It's just trial and error. It's seeing what you think looks good, giving yourself plenty of time to explore the space. There's multiple ways to push yourself. Sometimes you can give yourself a time constraint, certain goals. All right, I'm gonna just save this because I want to go look at some glowing orbs in other games. I like searching through a bunch of different hypes and we can just see these basic bean dudes. They're bright. They're really extra glowing white bright. Let's take a look at that visual. I've seen this before where the diffuse is dark, and I think that helps achieve a brightness to everything. So let me go ahead, take a screenshot. Let's go back into what we were working on and see if we can't. This diffuse was dark. Specular was kind of a gray. This cube circle you can tap over here. In the color scheme, we see a cube spinning. If you tap it, it becomes a circle. This helps visualize what the objects will look like in the game. I still want more from this. I'm gonna play with the rim and the shininess. And again, here I'm just moving things around, trying to get something that reminds me of those lasers in the club. And this kind of does it. This kind of right there. Now that that looks good, we can go and take this and copy it. We can even make like a reddish pink. Go here. There we go. Okay. Let's add some images to the DJ set. And here we have visuals in hypehype. Hypehype is putting out new assets all the time, and these look cool. To get an accurate depiction of a turntable, I'm gonna find a picture of one on the internet and then just use that as a model when creating this. Looks like some buttons. So we need to expand this table a little bit more, and every object has 3 buttons. The one to the right is to move. The one in the middle is to rotate. You can rotate it many different ways. The undo button is a great button to just take a step back. And then we got the scale, which is all the way to the left, and you can make something bigger or smaller. I'm gonna change this to black. Let's make another visual for black. Get like a darker video, call it dark black. And now you can see that ambient kind of controls almost like the dark shadowness of everything. Specular gives shading. On the picture that I'm looking at, it looks like there's like 4 to 8 buttons. We're gonna have maybe 3. Oh, even that looks cool. Let's take these and let's group them up. I haven't used group in a while. Okay, next it looks like we got some knobs. That looks cool. That totally looks like some DJ stuff. And now we want to get some more knobs. Let's go ahead and turn these knobs all the way up there. So it looks like the volume's to the max. DJ motorized controllers, I guess that's what they're called according to Google. They're like a big box. We should put that on top of a table. There's a cool desk here, so we can just use this object. Let's make some of these smaller. If we can get another black. All right, so I added another dark color, but it has more of a shine to it. There used to be a limit to how many visual materials you could have, but that has changed in one of the later updates. So you can have a lot, at least more than 20. I've had 36, I believe. I like the blue and a purple, so I'm gonna call it blurple. Yeah, you just make stuff up. Ah, jeez. Also, another thing I noticed when at clubs or even a vintage clothing store that was turned into a hip DJ set, sometimes they had plants on the tables. So let's add a little bit of plant. This looks like it could just be a cool, I don't know what it is, dome building, and I want to put it here. Maybe we can put it on here. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can shoot lasers out of this thing later. I just thought it looked cool. So we got more tables. Yeah, why don't we add some stone pillars? Okay, so I do think the laser lights is something going to mess with later, but we definitely got those cool laser light colors, and I'm gonna use this throughout the hype. I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna grab one of these dudes. Let's grab a container, make a reusable object, and then we can have a bunch of these dudes randomize their dancing colors using the neon colors that we've created, and use switch nodes in the dancing dude in a reusable container so that we can just drag and drop them into the dance floor, and there'll be different colors and all. Just add more variety. When creating scene, more detail definitely adds to the environment, especially in my opinion, small details that most people don't even notice, because when you add small details, it means that you're paying attention a little bit more than everybody else. You're aware of the surrounding environment. Yeah, when you travel all over and you go exploring on adventures, you want to be aware of everything that's going on. It helps you experience the world, and just good advice. Living in Mexico City, it's so densely populated with people. You always need to know your surroundings of where everybody is, paying attention to the details all around you. And yeah, take this and put them in there. See what we got inside. So we got a rigged animation, 14 different dance moves. We're gonna need to know this when we create our switch. Probability, and we want 14. And now we need to change all these numbers to 1 so they all have equal probability. It's easy to do just by hitting the equal 1 button. I just want to see what a 2 does. 0 has a 0%. The 1 is all equally distributed, and then the 2 is double the percentage. Now that we know that, we can change it all back to 1. So what this switch does is when this guy is created and put into the world, grab the green arrow, drag it over to the dude, and let's rig animation, dance hip hop 2, rinse and repeat, dance samba 2. And we're gonna move down the list. If you forget what you selected, you can select the magnifying glass dance swing 2, samba 2. Now every time this character loads, he's got one of 14 dances that he'll be moving to. We got 8 different colors. Let's add another switch. I'm going to put this also on start, switch, and let's do 8. Probability distribution. I use the switch all the time. I think it's one of my favorite nodes, and it's nice because I know the things that I'm going to do here will work in terms of just randomizing the color, giving this animation a different feel every time it's loaded over and over again. Looking for a little bit of unpredictability. So here we go to wait, on start, visual. Now we need to change one of the material slots. I'm not sure which one. We go to basic and we can see the black is material A, white is material B, and C and D for the third and the fourth. A, B, C, D. So we're going to want to change B, visual B, and let's go double check the naming convention. Call this bright green, bright pink, bright blue, bright orange, bright yellow, bright purple, mix of blue and purple, bright red. Okay, let's do it. Move over here. Visual, material slot E, bright green. Oh, interesting. It looks like you can touch the green arrow and then a little menu pops up which shows you active output links. Okay, so these are the active ones and these are the ones that have yet to be activated. Whenever I'm moving around in hypehype, I'm trying to see what is new and make a mental note of it in case it can help me make games in the future. We've done a lot. Let's save it. hypehype is really good with saving, but I like to cover my bases because internet could just go out. I have no idea. Let's take this, we'll select the container, we're gonna make it a reusable, and now we can go here. Here's the reusable dancing dude. Let's test it to make sure everything is working properly. Got the DJ dude, we can just go over here. We got this dude looking good. There is kind of like a little dot in the center of his forehead, which kind of looks like it's on purpose, but it's totally not on purpose, and we may need to change that. But this is good, and check this out. We go here, duplicate this dude. Now we got multiple ones, cowboy dance over here, and they're all doing something different. Awesome. They're dynamic objects too, so we can move them around and knock them down. Can we knock all these guys down? Yeah, okay, so since they fall down, I think they need a stabilizer because I do want to go crowd surfing in this hype because we can do whatever we want. If you have never crowd surfed before, pro tip, straighten your legs. Do not be bending your legs. It can be dangerous for other people. You don't want to hurt anybody. So let's go to this guy. We got the rigged animations and we're going to make him orange. This way, if we need to do a collision trigger on the main character, we can have the collision trigger set to orange. What else? I said I was going to do something else. Oh yeah, stabilizer. I've used this once before to make sure my running banana dude didn't fall over, and it worked. Yeah, so let's just see if they're a little bit more stable. Cool, yeah, it does look like they're floating. I think that is stabilizer causing that to issue. Dampen, let's get rid of, we'll make that 0. I think that'll make it so that the dudes are on the ground. Yeah, cool. Next, I'm gonna add a skull because skulls are cool. This is a cool skull I got in Mexico City, and it's got like nice little details. It was made out of a rock, soft rock, and it's super lightweight. And on one side of the DJ table, we got a plant, and on the other side, we got a skull. Yeah, I think that looks good. Crowd surfing, we'll have to figure it out. When I'm not sure what I'm doing, I just kind of like poke around, read the information, see if there's anything that I can manipulate without breaking the entire system. And here I see compare values. You can hit the question mark at the top and it'll bring up the wiki.hypehype. I see the compare going into nodes causing a rigged animation. So this one is set to dance reject F. Knocking these dudes down. There's 3 speeds in the movement. There's no movement, medium movement, and fast movement. And here it looks like if we're in the medium movement, it causes the dive pose. We're gonna change that back to reject step. This one's dance the pony. Here the compare is looking at the value 0.6. If the movement speed is higher than 0.6, then cause this animation to happen. Whereas in this compare node is less than. So we're gonna do the compare here. Instead of dance the pony, we're gonna do swim silly. So if you move, this is the dance reject step, and then if you go like this, Well, ideally this will be the swimming. Right now, all these dudes fall down. Let's go ahead and delete a bunch of these and then add a bunch. I've spent a little bit of time trying to figure out how to spawn 50 to 100 of these characters. I couldn't figure it out, so I'm just gonna have to put them in one by one, which isn't ideal, but I'm still learning, and that's the price you have to pay sometimes. So let's go in and delete. The upside to making it reusable is you can just grab them and you can just drag and drop, kind of like this. And then from here, let's just get a bunch, copy, tap and hold and copy. All right, let's take a look. And now we got a room full of colorful people. Go in and kind of get rid of these little gaps. Next, let's get some shooting lasers out of this dome laser machine. Oh yeah, lasers and fog. Go in, add a particle effect, and we'll play with that in a little bit. So every 5 seconds, the mist should spawn in a different location. We need the interval to also activate the random. Okay, looks like the mist, which is the fog from the smoke machine. Now we need some lasers. We're gonna try to spawn stuff again. This is good practice because I need to get better at spawning objects. Spawning laser lights and then shooting them forward. We need to add and make these objects kinematic. In this one, we want a vector transform of Z of, let's try 0.1. This thing doesn't seem to be moving. Oh, and that's because it's not on. That worked. Now we're gonna try to spawn it. Here we can see that this object is being spawned. We hit play, we can see there's two objects. Should be able to see it. But what I'm curious on is if I make this object a reference object, do we still see the one on the bottom? Okay, we do. And then the interval, we'll have an interval activate that spawner so that it spawns multiple times. We'll do every 1 second, this is spawning an object. So that's great. We should also have this object get destroyed after like 3 seconds. That way the object just doesn't continue to exist, slowing down the memory of the game. The bigger the game you build is, this is important to keep in mind. For small games, it's not that big of a deal. So after 2 seconds, it'll get destroyed. 1001, 1002. Next, we're also going to add an interval, a switch, and we'll do the random color generator like we did for the people. And I believe there were 8 different bright colors. Let's go here, edit probability distribution, and we want 8 all set to 1 so they have an equal chance. If you want something to have a higher chance, you just put 2 and it'll be double what the percentage one is. Material slot, I'm not sure which one. It's A. Let's zoom in and this is activated on start. And we can see we got multiple different colors shooting out. Now we just need to shoot out kind of like in all the directions. I switched out that long object with something that looks more organic. It's just cables, but I think it'll have a really cool effect. And let's also do a vector transform and loop. Oh, no, this is the new one on start. This will be for the scale. We want everything, let's do ×2 just to start out. This might be too big, but we don't know until we try. Duration 0, scale, loop. Okay, I don't know what that was, but that looked really bad and like everything was about to crash. Okay, so I'm gonna see what happens if I change the shoot force back to 2. Move the... Cool, so now we got the DJ set, colorful people, lasers, smoke, and I don't wanna add some more floating icons to go in the back. Shortcut I like to do is reset view so we can see over here. So this object has a lot going on, but what I do like is that switch that has it change random colors, and I believe that's activated every second. Let's duplicate this object and then we can get rid of the vector transforms, no physics. And so now this object has that switch where it changes colors. We're gonna want that. Advanced interval every 1 second. So we'll activate the switch. Okay, we're gonna make this one green, this one white, and this one red. And now we got kind of the colors of Mexico City. We got a cool club scene. We got the lasers. This isn't a complete game. This is more of a fun memory of just exploring the nightlife in CDMX. Perfect. And see if we can get him to stage dive. Okay, he's not stage diving, but I think I actually know a trick, if you will. Do something like that. We'll have this have unmovable visual off. So everything looks the same. We take him and we move him, and it looks like he is doing it. And make sure it covers the entire entire dance floor. Looking good. So now we got a club in CDMX. The next piece is the music. So here we got a list of songs. And it looks like on the music stop, we'll have these execute a song next to them. So that when one song stops, another one begins. And some of the wires look to be going all over the place. Let's not worry about it. I think we're good to go. This was fun. It wasn't a game. This was a nice break for me. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see, and I'll see if I can't make it. Until next time, I'm Hypesy. Stay safe out there, and peace.